Loves it.
Loves it.
Where are the spark plugs?
Don't they go on these?
That's a Welsh plug.
Alright. Welsh.
Okay.
We're in Australia, mate.
We go to the strippers, have a little team lunch. We redid all of Toyota's suspension and then redid all of Toyota's engine, and it won't fit. Well, if you've been following the channel for a while, you know whose driveway I am in. This is HD Automotive here in Brisbane, the home of everything performance diesel, performance full drive, everything in between, and more importantly, the home of Hayden and Max, two of my favourite blokes. Behind that 100 series is the 80 series. We just dragged it up from Sydney just this morning and the boys are already hooking in. Up on the mezzanine is the Turbo 1FZ. It's complete. We had the head sent off. I'm gonna go show you that in this episode as well. But we are starting to put it back together. I've been waiting for this moment for months. Finally, the car is gonna get a motor back in. The suspension's all done. It's all coming together. Let's get into it.
Loves it.
Loves it. That's heaps nice.
Quality, 500,000 kilometers later.
You gotta send me.
Oh, sweet child of mine. Where's the fucking bin? You actually don't need 1,000 horsepower when you have a single max power. Hayden's risen. He's risen hard. Max is really happy. JJ's really happy. All the boys are really happy.
Now and then.
Update time. This is the factory radiator. So that's really good. We've got the PWR, actually from the Naughty 40.
RIP.
RIP. So we took the PWR out before the stupid stole it. So we're gonna put that in, which will be nice. That will go in here, big polished dog. JJ is a bit of a wiring guru that I've dubbed him that. He's actually not, but we'll figure it out together. Yeah. What we're doing is, because there's a distinct lack of Toyota now to mount things to, we've obviously sort of had to do something with the wiring. So as you can see, hucking it ourselves.
These zip ties are temporary. We'll be getting P-clips.
With P-clipping the dog, Raceworks are gonna come to the rescue, P-clip the freaking shit out of it, tuck it all up really high where it's not gonna hit the tires at full bump and that sort of thing. Make the engine bay look really nice for when we have the hot boy motor.
Standalone Haltech loom.
All in the bin for the Elite 2500.
This 30-year-old plastic off.
Disgusting. You guys should comment below all this heat shielding on the firewall and down here. Do we remove it and put Raceworks gold heat shielding on? Do we leave it? Do we take it off and just leave it as paint? We've just lifted this with a forklift from up there, completely legitimately. And Max is stoked about it. Mate, run us through exactly what's done to this.
Well, Sam, as you can see,
It's
starting from
shiny.
the top down, we have a ported and polished cylinder head. This was done by a little cylinder head wizard over at Southside Cylinder Heads. We have to it fitted Calford cams, big ones, stage 3, 285 by
I think 276, 284s maybe. Basically, the biggest ones Kelford make. What else, mate?
Calford valve springs. We have ARP head studs. We have 2mm oversized exhaust valves, 1mm oversized inlet valves. We have spool rods, Ross Racing pistons, Kinetic MLS head gasket, ARP main studs, ARP head studs, ACR race, main bearings, big end bearings, thrust bearings, Chinese power steering pump.
All the sauce.
All the sauce.
Lineage balanced crank.
You hope so.
NPC have built a wild one-off clutch. Like,
and
James from NPC has done God's work.
thousands of Newton meters billet.
Yeah, designed to take nearly 2,000 Newton meters but maintain single mass, so no dual things here. So should be able to still actually drive it reasonably well in an off-roady environment. New everything, thermostat, water pump, all the good shit, oil cooler, everything's painted up, beautiful. Breathers, obviously modified sump for turbo drain.
Oil drain
is important. Everything is basically brand new, better than Toyota could have ever made a forklift engine.
It's true.
And it's about to, from here, a couple of blokes
toss it into there. Whilst this gap looks small, we did measure up.
Yeah.
We got Max to measure head to turbo.
Pretty big thing, pretty small gap.
Mate, we're specialists. I'm specialist at small thing in big hole, and you're big thing in small hole. So between us, should be able to average it out and hope for the best. But Max, what's the school of thought on cable throttle versus fly-by-wire, drive-by-wire?
Well, drive-by-wire, a bit better. You get easier idle air, you get cruise control, you get better tuning, you get less moving path. But
Okay, you're making it seem like we've made the wrong choice here.
also, you're going to be putting this thing underwater, under mud.
Yeah,
Like-
the downside would be if you go through a deep river crossing or something, or like, you know, even just up to the sill in Cape or high country.
Trying to source like a Bosch electric throttle body in fucking Arnhem Land is not
Like,
going to
it's never going to happen. So at least with cable, whilst a little bit primitive, and for the setup we're going,
There's a reason it's still.
there's a reason we're keeping it cable, and that is for it's not going to play up off road. It's not, you know, if an 80 series, a factory FZ 80 series cable snaps, you can probably get one from a Wreckers. Yeah, like but you're not going to be able to get an electronic throttle or any of that shit. So whoa, Scrappy's made Scrappy's made a scrap dick.
Where was it?
On my football. Gonna sit up, cut it out.
Supervising. There's a few supervisors on this job. You're doing good work down there, Max.
A ratchet 17 would be sick.
Oh, Jassy.
We're doing engine mounts because these things at high horsepower off-road on their side like to tear this factory rubber in these engine mounts. What we're doing is essentially welding a plate between the top and the bottom, essentially metal mount, I guess, that gives the rubber some space to move. Got a weld out here and this one. So it looks like that. So mount like that. You can see these little lips here. Stop the mount from torquing up and tearing the rubber in here. Pretty fancy, eh? Look at this dog. Looks pretty big, eh? Bigger than I thought. Hard to capture it on video. Massive. The scale.
I'm 6'4".
He's 6'4", 6'5",
Big.
on a cold day.
Very big. I know if this part's gonna make the video, but if it does, everyone put in the comments and tell him to paint his engine bay.
Yeah.
A nice, pretty colour.
So that gross. He's got this like gold reflective tape that he wants to put on. I'm not too sure about it. Boiling's
Sorry,
off.
bro.
Should paint it. You paint it.
I'll paint it.
Yeah.
The next morning.
Now, before you hit the start button on this,
Yeah.
are the spark plugs gapped correctly?
Where are the spark plugs?
Don't they go on these? Ah. Honestly, mate.
That's a Welsh plug.
All right.
Welsh.
We're an Australian, mate.
I'm bringing bass. I'm bringing,
I can't believe that.
I'm
What did
bringing
Welsh
bass
make
into
that?
it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's right.
Surely they go somewhere around here.
Have you seen a better moustache anywhere in Australia? If you have, you haven't, because this is it.
We don't believe you.
So. Shut the fuck up, JJ.
Turbo water feed. Heater cool water feed. AN fittings, pretty hot. None of this disgusting barb hose.
Please no.
Gross shit.
If there's one thing I don't like, it's a hose.
Custom engine mounts. All boxed up.
Okay, this is the moment we've been building up to for months. Engine in time. We have Andy. We have Max. We have the sauciest of sauces. And an FTE that is playing up. He should have got an FZ. He's a fucking idiot. Now, we've been waiting for this moment for months. We're about to put this thing. We've done some very, very average measurements and we think it'll be fine. So, it's time. Pray for us. Forged FZ, gorgeous thing, ready to put in the hole with map. We've measured it with the turbo, the manifold and the Proflow,
Loosely measured with a tape measure.
and it,
10 to 15 mil of clearance.
it's gonna be tight. So that's gonna be interesting. But yeah, basically we're asking a lot of the engine crane and we're gonna put in the car. You wouldn't fucking read about it, but Porsche FZ's in the car. Looking hot as ever. There was extreme concern about coilover tower and manifold clearance, which is still of extreme concern, but looks pretty good. No, it looks good. Now, I know this is hard to believe, but we redid all of Toyota's suspension and then redid all of Toyota's engine and all the engineering, and it won't fit. Let me show you something. Whilst this looks like a bazooka, it's actually a Proflow alloy intake manifold that then receives a large sexual throttle body on the end. What we failed to think about in the process of me ruining this car was that there's now a coilover tower exactly where this needs to go. So yeah, that's okay. Look, you know, we're 1 hour into the project and it's all gonna shit. So anyway, gonna go to the strippers, have a little team lunch, mull this over. Hayden's laughing at me on the other side of this camera.
I don't often get to say I told you so. Oh wait.
It's true.
Yes, I do.
All the time. Let's go see Max and see if he's got a solution. I guarantee he's in there chowing down on some kind of snack. Oh, speaking of snacks, look what he got here. Take them off my hand and you can have some. Snacking. Doesn't matter where in the workshop you hide food, Hayden finds it. I don't know how. It's like a drug sniffer dog, but for snacks. All right, let's go find Max. He found us. What is the solution? Well, help, please.
I'm thinking we'll mill the flange off. so we're back to flange. And we just have to shorten it. There's no other way. Like cutting and shutting's gonna look shit.
Yep.
I had an idea before. I said we block it off. No impact.
Bash it with a hammer.
It's getting like that, to be honest. Update time. Andy's here. He's excited. Because I am not. Good news is 6-boost and turbo fit, which is nice. What we have discovered is the center of the car is the exhaust cam, which therefore means the intake does not fit, despite there being the gap there, which is the gap that we need to be over here so that that dog fits. So, sad times, really. But this looks nice in here. Looks ludicrous, to be honest. I also don't think we're getting a coilover tower brace in there, but that's also okay. What I'm thinking we're gonna do is get Max to chop up the manifold to the sort of length we need, and then probably take it to Black Arts Wizardry fabrication shop and get him to do some hot alloy welding to make it all back together so that it'll fit. Not just the Proflow intake that we love, they also send out a custom stainless fuel rail. We've obviously got the big throttle body as well for this, which is nice. All the hardware and O-rings and that sort of stuff. So it's a really nice product actually. They do this in black and also the raw alloys. So we've got the raw alloy there, obviously alloy head cast iron block on this dog. We've actually got a sick Platinum Racing Products billet filler cap coming as well, which cost me $10 billion, but absolutely worth it. And then we got the front of the turbo, or the front turbo housing, chrome coated. So it's like a ceramic coating, but chrome. Something I wanted to do for ages on this build, so that's really cool. And then HD rocker cover dress up kit with the silver hardware. We've got the alloy PWR going in it. So this whole engine bay, the dream is to have it looking like artwork, have it look amazing. Speak volumes of the work that HD do, have it speak volumes of the work that I like done, etc, etc. That's all wishful thinking, because if the fucking intake manifold doesn't fucking fit, then we're fucked anyway. So anyway. EX50, GFB, nothing but the best.
Big, sexy.
It is a big ass unit, eh? Look at that dog. What does the wastegate do, you might be asking? It's a great question. Can't really tell you other than make really good noises. I think it basically just gets rid of the gases that you don't need, right?
All the boost going through your turbo, you hit the boost level you want, and then the gate opens and it bypasses your turbo so that you hold the boost level.
Lower it up. Nice. So it's, as the name suggests, a gate for wasted boost pressure and more wasted boost exhausty boys. So we just spoke to Koval. We were a little bit stressed that one gate might not be enough, but he's informed us, which makes complete sense, that if we're doing more boost pressure, you actually rely on a wastegate less than if you have less boost pressure. So he was saying the dudes that have big blown or, you know, turbo V8s that run 7 pounds, they need to run 2 gates sometimes to bleed all the boost up because they're not using it. We're going to be running 25, 30 pounds and using most of what we create. So this guy is going to be adequate. You look at the 6 boost down here, which we've had ceramic coated. That dog there is basically going to be a little weld on Naughty Boy port. So these are V-bandy dogs. So we're going to weld that part on, use the V-bands, job's on. No leaks, makes it very easy, it's nicely packaged.
I think we'll have to face him up a bit because it's not going to fit down here with an exhaust on it.
Yeah.
We'll have to weld it 90 up, I think.
Yeah. We're going to have to do some fan dangling because it's extremely tight. The amount of air this thing's going to be moving and power, 4-inch exhaust is probably going to be essential. And there's not much space, so see what happens. Welcome to the underside of the party wagon. Now, you're probably wondering, fuel system, what the f***? And to be honest, Max is thinking the same thing. Obviously, there is where the factory tank was meant to go, and up there is where the sub-tank's meant to go, and you can see there's a distinct lack of...
Do these move up the here?
They sure do. So we're basically trying to figure out, we went out on Sunday night, today's Tuesday, Sunday night, drove down to the Gold Coast and bought a 79 series, a brand new 79 series tank with the sender and the brackets. It's a 120 litre capacity and we're hoping we can jerry rig it into the back of this car without sacrificing too much departure angle. What are your thoughts, Max? Quietly confident or absolutely terrified?
Well, I don't know yet. We'll get the tank in, we'll lift it up, see where it sits.
Yeah.
And
a little gearbox.
yeah.
Little gearbox lifty boy and
See. We'll make it happen.
well, that basically brings an end to a mammoth couple of days of progress here at HD Automotive. Massive thanks to Hayden, HD, Max, and the entire team. This thing, the progress is going to be a little bit slower than anticipated, but it's going to be worth it because we are making the hottest 80 series in the country. Now, this episode was all vlog, so if you've loved it, make sure you comment below. The good thing is if you've liked it, the next few weeks are going to be non-stop action and chaos as we fit turbos, intercoolers, exhausts, screamers, fuel cells, Haltex. There's going to be a lot going on. So like, subscribe, share it around to your mates. Let's build the wildest 80 this country's ever seen. See you next week. Yo!